Today we're going to talk about the primary documents that make up an estate plan in Minnesota. My name is Gregory Singleton. I'm an estate planning and probate attorney living in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I work for Signature Law, which is an estate planning and probate law firm which serves the Twin Cities and Greater Minnesota alike. Just a reminder, if you like today's video, please feel free to like and subscribe the video below. It sure helps support the channel. So this is just a basic list, just 5 documents. There are certainly other documents that can make up an estate plan, but we're just trying to hit on the basics today. Now, how I picked these documents is I looked to the key goals of what we're trying to do with an estate plan, which is going to fit into 6 categories. It's going to be when you're alive and incapacitated and when you're dead, and it's going to handle 3 different things. It's going to handle your finances, it's going to handle your health, and your children. So, to do this, we'll rely on 5 different documents. That will be the healthcare directive, the durable power of attorney, the guardianship designation, the will, and the trust. Now, not every single estate plan will have all these documents. It depends on your circumstances, but this is a good place to start. So let's begin with the healthcare directive. In Minnesota, the healthcare directive is a combination of 2 different documents. It's the living will and the medical power of attorney, or healthcare proxy, depending on what you want to call it. The living will is the document that outlines your wishes for what you want to have happen to you regarding your healthcare if you're incapacitated. The medical power of attorney, or healthcare proxy, identifies an individual to make those decisions for you. So put them together, the healthcare directive is a document that gives someone authority to make healthcare decisions for you when you're incapacitated based on your wishes. So when we look at that in regards to the chart, the healthcare directive deals with your health and your body while you're alive, as well as your body when you are dead. And how it addresses things when you're dead is a healthcare directive can include things like funeral instructions and body disposition, what you want to have happen to your body. Do you want to be cremated? Do you want to be buried, etc.? The next document is the power of attorney. Now, this is similar to the healthcare directive in that it allows someone to step in your shoes to make decisions for you, but the durable power of attorney that we're talking about is a financial power of attorney. It allows someone to step in your shoes and make financial decisions for you when you're incapacitated. So, the durable power of attorney, I'll just put POA for power of attorney, addresses your finances when you're alive. It's important to note that the authority of a power of attorney ends as soon as you die. So it cannot address your finances when you've passed on. The third document is the guardianship directive, and this very simply identifies someone to be and authorizes someone to be the guardian of your children when you're incapacitated. So we'll put the guardianship directive down here. It can also be effective after you've died as well. The fourth document is the will. And now we've all heard about the will. It's the document that governs the disposition of your assets when you die. Basically, it says who gets your stuff after you've died. If you don't have a will, we default to the statutory scheme. Basically, there's a law that says if you don't have a will, person A, B, and C get your stuff. So essentially what a will does is it governs your finances after you've passed on. Also, a will can be used to designate who will be guardian of your children when you've passed on. Now, it's important to note that a will doesn't have any legal authority until you've died. So a will cannot deal with your finances while you're alive, and it cannot designate your children while you're alive and incapacitated. The final document is the revocable living trust. Now, this is a will alternative in a way. When you die, it governs the disposition of your assets. It sends them out to people, but it also does things when you're alive. And the way I like to describe the revocable living trust is think of it as a box. And when you're alive, you can put stuff in the box, you can take stuff out of the box, you can move stuff around in the box, but the box owns your things. And the box is open and you have full access to everything in that box. Now, when you die, the box closes and it becomes just like a will, and it sends your stuff out to different people. So the trust, The Revocable Living Trust can help you manage your finances while you're alive, and it can act like a will and manage your finances while you're dead. Now, we don't do guardianship designations in a trust. We save that for a will or for a guardianship designation. Now, it's important to note that with a revocable living trust, you will still have a will. It's called a pour-over will. Basically, it's a catch-all that when you die, all your other stuff gets dumped into the will so that the will, or dumped into the trust so that the trust can dispose of your assets appropriately. And that's about it. Those are the 5 key documents that make up an estate plan in Minnesota. Now, there are a few other documents that may also be part of an estate plan. There are specialty trusts for holding gifts, like a crummy trust for holding life insurance, like an ILIT, for being a tax shelter trusts. There's AB trusts. There's also prenuptial and antenuptial agreements. There's letters of the estates. There's gifts while you're alive. There's life insurance. There's plenty of other things that can be part of an estate plan. But these 5 documents are going to be the core of what you want to look at when you're thinking about making your estate plan. If you like today's video, please feel free to like and subscribe below. It sure helps support the channel. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comments below. I'll try to get to them. And otherwise, this is Gregory Singleton from Signature Law.